Good morning. I don't know Belgian for good morning, so I'm just going to call it good morning. Anyway, we are here in Belgium, in the Ardennes, a place called Houffalize, which is just a small village, very much part of Battle of the Bulge. Small town that was repeatedly tried to be taken back to and from the Germans and the Allies. But the main reason I've come here is because they've got a magnificent relic, fully restored. That's a panther, so one of the German big cats. 5-man crew, massive gun, 88mm gun, probably underpowered engine, Maybach engine, and that would reach the speeds of around 45 to 50 kilometres an hour, which is unreal. It's even still got the crank handle on it. That wonderful. This is tank 111, and it met its end through driver error. He decided he couldn't see. Well, he decided to drive across a bridge that he couldn't really see, and ended up plummeting into the toppling over, killing everybody inside in the River Over, which is just through there. So this saw action here. It actually saw lots of action. It was in the Battle of Normandy. It ran all through the Ardennes to defend parts of Arnhem against the offensive in Arnhem, and then driving back to defend, well, to attack really this part of Belgium on the offensive Battle of the Bulge, where it met its end. Houffalize, I think the place is called. But that's seen action and recently been restored. It's lovely. They've made a really good job. Spent some money on it. There's a little... So the British bombed this place twice. The first time, 27th December, they missed. So they came back on the 6th of January and flattened it. So the Allies then built lots of these wooden sheds to help the locals. Houffalize. I'm not sure I'm saying that right, but it's a nice little memorial to. Why would they go to so much effort to keep a German tank? Anyway, they were not too far from another relic, which is another American tank. So I'm going to go and have a look at that shortly. But it's got a good story. Did lots of miles. So from Normandy on the 5th of... It was there on the 5th. It then managed to get away and travel all the way through the Ardennes to Arnhem, which, you know, then it came back here on its offensive and where it met its end. And that's actually the plaque showing it in the river. But yeah, it's 116th Panzer Division. There's nowhere to park, but it's very quiet. I'm in a place called Le Char Wibrin. And what we got here is a victim. So this is a Sherman M4A. The predecessor to the Sherman I sent you is much squarer, much smaller, much more inadequate armour and a gun. And as you can see, this one's seen it and felt it. Mental. You see, look, Sherman M4A3. So started in 42, finished in 45. And that really did have some shots. Belonged to the, hang on, 2nd Armoured Division. And it was killed in and around this area, not here but very close, when it was trying to retake on the 14th of January. And it was hit by the panthers of the 16th. So probably, let's say, for argument's sake, this was taken out by 111, which we've just seen. And these are the much earlier Shermans, which we did get. This isn't a Firefly because it's got a much smaller gun, but we did have these. We put our own gun in it and called it the Firefly. So it looks like it's been cut. To get it here. But you can see the suspension's different than the other tank I showed you. But yeah, tiny little gun. Would have been like chucking ping pong balls at the Panther. Yeah, so this was knocked out 14th of January. And the local mayor decided that he wanted to save it from the scrapyard, and he's, yeah, which is good. Hell on wheels. And it was called Gin Sling. G Company, 3rd Battalion, 66th Armoured Regiment. Brilliant. I don't know what that means there, whether that's General Motors or what, don't know. Don't know who made these, actually. Doesn't say there. .400 horsepower. Continental. Wow. There you go. I'll actually get a better view of it. That's mental. Quite like how it's like half destroyed. And the comparison of that gun to the one we've just seen in the Panther. And that damage to the gun, someone stuck a grenade down it to disable it. Gin Sling. Now I'm going to clear off because it's a sleepy little town, village. See you soon. Right. Bonjour. I'm going with bonjour for Belgium. We're in Belgium. We're in a place called Bastogne, and I've treated myself to a campsite in Bastogne. It's a bit dated. What's it called? Camping du Renval. It's got everything I need. But I thought okay, so briefly, the price of diesel has gone through the roof. it's in Germany, the prices for diesel is €2.50 a litre. It was costing me over €230 to half fill this thing. So I thought, right, okay, my plan was to go to Bonn, which is just south of Cologne. But I thought, no, that's 3.5 hours. That's half a tank. That's 230 odd euros gone. And I'm no closer to home, really. I'm going further north. If I was heading to Denmark, all good, but I'm not. I'm heading east. So I filled up, headed into Luxembourg. As soon as I got into Luxembourg, the prices are down. The prices are at like €2. But again, okay, you know, so I thought, no, I'll go into the Ardennes. So the Ardennes is beautiful. So here we are in the Ardennes. And I've just done a little bit of Battle of the Bulge stuff because that pleases me. Might not please you, but I'll make it as informative as possible, and not all. It won't all be military. Hence this video for this campsite, Camping du Renval. It's just on the outskirts, 1 kilometre from the centre. And there's lots for me to see here, and I'll take you along. So let's just have a look at what we got here. So it's one of these permanent. The majority of the outskirts of the campsite are filled with statics. Some are here, some aren't. And then it's empty for the day before Good Friday. But I'm here for 2 nights. Because there's Bastogne's great. There's lots to see in Bastogne for me. Just hoping for some better weather tomorrow. Just started to drizzle. But it's a nice flat spot. Got electric and my own water. What's not to like? And there's a lovely old high top T3. So we'll go and have a look at that in a minute. But I was going to nip into the town to have a look-see, but I can feel rain in the air. Typical. Yes, so I got right bent out of shape about the diesel prices because Germany, I thought, I see 2.5 on the Autobahn. So I thought, okay, well, that's fair enough. That's the Autobahn. I went into, when I came out of Fosbach, there was a petrol station in the village and it was exactly the same price. So 2.5. So I thought, oh, right, okay. Well, I'm not going to head into Cologne. I'm going to head into Luxembourg. And because it's on my way home, I'm heading east again. West. So as soon as I got into Luxembourg, the price of diesel was 50 cents a litre cheaper. So I'm here now. I've just done the museums in Bastogne, which you'll see. And I've got a couple of really good tanks. So that's me. I'm going to contemplate. I've lasted this long without an umbrella. I'm not getting one now. Okay. I'll see you in a bit. So I've just been into the Nuts war rooms. Very good. I didn't take any footage in there, don't want to spoil it. If you are thinking of coming, it's great. It's all narrated and through a headset. It's pretty cool. But on the entrance, or the exit, are two US vehicles, an Achilles, which looks like a tank, but it's actually a tank destroyer. So it's got an open turret. Same chassis and running gear as the early Shermans, but with a late sloping armour hull. And a huge gun. So that's the 17 pounder or the 76mm. So that was pretty good competition to the Sturmgeschütz and the Jag Panther. They're pretty formidable. And then we got a half-track troop carrier with what looks like a mortar out the back of it and a winch. Yeah, it's got a mortar in the back. So they would fire ordnance straight out the back. That's awesome. Again, relatively good condition. Needs a bit of love, I suppose, but I was hoping to see some more, but it looks pretty bare in here, which is disappointing. But yeah. And I didn't know this place was actually the headquarters for the US 101st and all the rest of them. Didn't know that. This is where the generals were based while everybody else was doing all what they were doing. And it's right opposite the cemetery. So that's me done from Bastogne. I might head slightly north to St. Vith. There are the foxholes here near Foy or Foy, but I don't really want to go and see them. They're just holes in the ground basically. But I'm pretty impressed with the Achilles. Right, that's us. See you soon. We've got some British stuff. I think this is a Matador. I think. It's got Belgian colours on. But I definitely know that down there is a Cromwell, which was a medium tank riveted together. But they were what we could come up with. But that's pretty awesome. I'm sure they're called Matadors. And this is a Comet. So this is a British tank. Again, that's the 17-pound gun, which we were pretty good at guns. And I don't know, but I think that piece on the back there is, so that would have come across the water at some point, probably at D-Day, so the water didn't get back into the engine. So it could have been a duck. That's pretty cool. And then we've seen one of these already. This is the Chaffee. We see one of these at Saarbrücken, the Siegfried line. But yeah, two good examples there. And that looks like a British tank. or an armoured vehicle. It's a pretty cool place. And they've got loads of modern stuff down there mixed in. So there's a Sherman hull that's been shot up, and a 1967 Beetle, and some Humvees, and a mixture down there. And then they've got loads of old wreckers, World War II wreckers. Anyway, I'm going in the exhibition hall. I'm like a dog with two, you know. Look at the machine gun out the front. And the driver's hatch. Unbelievable. So the Comet, made by British Leyland, and it was the predecessor to the Cromwell. Let's have a look in here. Morning. From a grey and miserable Saturday morning in Bastogne. So I've been here now 2 nights. I'm now leaving. I've seen everything Bastogne's got to offer. Very touristy, very Americanised, full of grills, and you know, I get it. It's frequented by lots of Americans because of its history. Museums were awesome. The weather has been absolutely horrific, much like England's weather, so it's preparing me for England. But having said that, I've enjoyed my time. So we're packing up. I'll fill up the water, lose my grey, lose my toilet, and head on out. I'm going to head to the French-Belgian border now. Probably only about an hour and a half. I'm only 2.5 hours from Calais, but I'm going to stop there for another night, which will be Saturday night, and then head into the tunnel for late Monday, bank holiday, early Tuesday, so I can hopefully miss the traffic getting into England. So that's where we're at. So I'm going to load up, pack up, and be done. See you soon.